All right, welcome everyone to the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150 here at WorldWide Technology Raceway. Thanks for tuning in tonight to the IWM Broadcast Network. I'm Rick Souza here with my co-broadcaster John Derudris, and we have a ton to cover tonight with what's happening within this league, the different competitions they've got, plus, oh, by the way, there's a heck of a race tonight. So, John, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this track. I love it. It's one of the most unique tracks that the Cup Series has started to go to, and it almost is like a mixture of a New Hampshire meets Phoenix meets Martinsville meets like the Milwaukee Mile. I mean, it's a wild track because you have different. I mean, even you could even say Darlington as well with the different length
Yeah,
straightaways.
absolutely.
It's a mixture of tracks, and so when you see these drivers tonight, they are going to be skating all over this circuit here in Madison, Illinois, for the Enjoy Illinois 150. But yeah, Rick, like you said, we have a ton of talk about here. This series is in the middle of their season, so we got a lot to talk about. And so let's start with the previous winner of this particular race is Mr. Corey Bunch. Was last year's winner, so could he potentially get a repeat here? It does take some mental focus to make sure you're hitting your marks more than on an average mile and a half or any other track we really go to. So previous winner Corey Bunch, but let's dive into really quick. Let's just talk about who's at the top of the point standings right now. Right now, at the top of the point standings, like it has been the last I don't know how many weeks, we talk about it. But Jordan Booth and Jordan Wenzel are first and second in the points. Right behind them is Brendan Hayes, who's moved up one spot from last week. You have Travis Bennett, who moved down one spot from 1 week prior. Tyler Lim sitting in fifth. Alex Murphy up 2 spots to sixth. Matthew Robinson down 1 spot to seventh. Alex Forget-Berube, who is now up to eighth. He moved up 2 spots. Corey Bunch -3 positions down to ninth, and Eric Jeffers right there in P10 of the standings. The battle gets better and better every week. They shuffle all the time, and we're in our summer stretch right now, so we can, we're able to see if the guys can, pull away, or let's see if some of these guys like Alex Forget-Berube can still get these finishes. You see the 24 sliding sideways right there out of turn 4. A lot of sideways cars tonight. But right now, the battle at the cut is still hot. 34 points separate 16th through 20th coming into this weekend's race at Gateway. A very easy point total for somebody to make up if the cards fall in your favor. So excited to see what we got tonight.
Absolutely. So we've got the playoff graphics up on the screen. Obviously, those drivers in red on the left side of the column, conveniently top 10, actually have all wins. So they've advanced themselves into the playoff. What is really interesting is the right side. That's positions 11 through 16, and just as important, 17 through 20th, because those guys are just on the outside looking in with a good bit of races to continue to go. But still, as wins tick off and we get some first timers like we just got with Brandon Hayes last week, those spots begin to disappear. There aren't that many slots available, just 11 through 16th. If those are filled up with first-time winners, that's going to lock you out no matter what your points are.
For sure. So with that being said, let's talk about really quick the top 3 in team standings. You got 40 XLI in first, Full Throttle Motorsports in second, and Performance Motorsports in third. But Rick, we have another tournament championship going on right now with the iNRS series. We are in the final week. We're in the championship race for the in-season tournament, and one of the drivers, I still hasn't seen him.
Actually, he just did join. He is in.
All right, there we go. It is Mr. Alex Forget-Berube. He got a shoe-in last week because his opponent did not show up, and he's going to be competing against the guy who's first in points right now, Jordan Booth. That's going to be a little bit difficult, but I got to say, Alex has been on a tear recently, Rick. I mean, and we can kind of dive into the next segment here. Who's hot right now? Brendan Hayes has been, hot right now because he just got his first win here in the iNRS series. He was able to fend off Jordan Booth and continue the hot streak. With his, Jordan Booth's lowest finish has been 11th since Texas. So that's incredible right there. You have Jacob Mousseau making a great, climb up into the standings as well with finishes of 11th, 9th, and 8th in the last 3 races. He finds himself in the point battle. He's 16th, so he's 9 to the good, which is all you need. Again, another playoff driver who is locked in, Tyler Lem. He's starting to piece together some good finishes. He has 6 top 15 finishes in the last 7 races, and he's looking to add to that today here after finishing P3 on Tuesday night in the trucks. And I think that's going to be a big key, Rick. How many drivers can translate and transfer that information over here to these next-gen cars and use that as we see some cars are wrecking on the front stretch. It's no big deal. Uh,
Still in
uh,
practice.
Still practice. Practice makes perfect. But either way, though, curious to see who's going to be able to translate that success in the trucks or Xfinity over into these Cup cars.
All right, so we've got 2 minutes, 20 seconds or so left of practice. We'll move into qualifying, and then there's a 5-minute segment that will occur afterwards where there's a driver's meeting. But we'll keep filling you full of facts as we update you as to what's happening. Obviously, we're trying to keep an eye on what's happening during this practice session. So far on the top of the board with best time, let's bring up that best time graphic so far. Is Jordan Wenzel has put up right now the best time of this practice session. Corey Bunch is right there, who was our last year's winner on this track, and I really think this is one of those tracks where you got to know. You can't just roll in tonight with zero practice on this track and do put up some great laps, because it's hard. And on top of that, on this track, let's bring up the track map because and the race info, because this track is long, and the pit road is even longer. You come on to pit road on this track, I believe, just off of 3-way around the front stretch, and then you don't get back on until the into the back stretch. So you're going to be on pit road for a long time.
Yeah, you're going to be on pit road a while. So that's going to be a big topic of conversation tonight, who can navigate pit road. And let's look at what we got. 120 laps, stage break at lap 40, pit road speed at a lovely 45 mile an hour starting at turn 3. 1 quick repair, 5 sets of tires, 60% fuel. And as always, 3 green-white checkers. And looking at particularly what we are looking at on fuel mileage, I believe we are going to get, let me do some rough math calculations. Numbers. Probably about 35 laps, I would say, 35 to 40 laps on a tank of gas. So that means these drivers are going to have to pit more than likely before the stage break. So I think it's probably going to be closer to 35. But either way, it's going to be a great race tonight. It's going to be a great race for these iNRS guys. And Corey Bunch, let's see if he can go back-to-back.
Just as a notable, it is a bit warm trackside. It is 98. Well, that just changed. It shows 98 degrees. Once we went to practice, the track temperature, the weather changed. So, hey, there's that.
Gotta love it. Got to love it.
All right, so we're watching. We now have entered the qualifying session, and the first driver we've got looking at is Brendan Hayes. He is out. We'll keep an eye on Brendan Hayes here as he makes his qualifying run. And we will try to get up. Let's get the best time in the graphic. And so as these drivers run through their qualifying laps, we'll get those times will be populating in our tower, and we will update you with that. So as we said earlier, so turn 1 and 2, really it's a small radius turns, way different from 3 and 4. Plus there's some significant banking in 1 and 2.
Absolutely, and that's the challenge that these drivers are going to face tonight, especially with some tire wear. I think tire wear is going to be heavy tonight, and you're going to see a lot of drivers, I think, have to manage those tires. You are going to be sliding. You're going to see some aero wash. You're going to see a lot of guys sliding around. So with that being said, making sure that your tires and you're not sliding them every single corner is the way to get to the end of the run when you still have some Goodyears left on those lovely 4 tires that you got. And looking right now, Brendan Hayes, he is currently sitting. Let's see. He technically has not. Oh, he broke the top 5.
Yeah, in his
Let's see what he can do
first.
this time by.
Yeah, but he was out of turn two. He was a little bit loose. There was a bit of a fishtail there, so we'll see how that all
I
populates.
think he moved up to third.
Yep, our graphic has decided that it does not want to play nicely with others right now.
It happens. It happens. But yeah, turn 1 and turn 2 very different than turn 3 and turn 4, and that's going to pose, you got to actually think about what corner you're in. It's almost like Darlington when you have to remember, okay, I'm actually going into 3 or actually I'm going into 1. Same thing here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. It is one of the toughest tracks to navigate, and if you get in a rhythm and then you just kind of lose focus just for a little bit of time and forget where you are, your corner entry could be messed up and you could ruin your race and maybe somebody else's. So we'll see what happens there. But really quick, let's talk about who on the flip side of who's been doing well. Let's talk about who hasn't been doing so well. So the Phoenix winner, the number 46 of Simon Madgen, has had a rough go as of late. He's only had one top 10 finish here in the iNRS in 6 weeks. That is very uncharacteristic. He's looking to get back on track and start reeling off some of those wins here early on in the summer stint. Another Canadian, number 24, Matt Perusini, has had 4 finishes of 15th or worse, including 3 of 25 place or worse in the last 5 weeks. He is fast week in and week out, but sometimes you just have some bad luck. He's found himself on the wrong side of some incidents there. And coming off of 5th place at Charlotte, look for him to be a factor at the front this week. And also look at the 79 league admin, Mr. Scott Thomas. He's finding himself also on the wrong side of things lately. It happens in searching for his first top 10 finish since Talladega. It's not been easy for that 79. He looks to see maybe he could put himself back in the top 10 and get that monkey off of his back. But looking at some drivers now, Rick, who have had excelled at the style track, who's on that list?
So definitely, you've seen. Of course, you can't rule out Corey Bunch, but certainly going back to last year, Travis Bennett and Jordan Wenzel plus Corey Bunch were extremely fast here. And then going back and looking at the highlights from Tuesday in the trucks, Travis Bennett won by 8 seconds with the next fastest driver, Eric Jeffers and Tyrell Lem. I think that we'd be watching the 01 and the 77, and also keep track of Jeffers and Lem. I mean, they were successful in the trucks. They can translate that right here.
Absolutely, for sure. And thinking about some guys who you want to pay attention to, right now, looking at some rivalries, it was a relatively tame Coke 300. It seemed to have calmed the tempers down just a little bit. The 41 of Jordan Booth is still looking for his shot, with the 19. I remember that was a crazy race.
There was a lot of battling, door slamming going on. So,
Yeah, we'll see, if they get around each other this weekend. Or I guess not this weekend. If they get around each other this evening, that is. And Rick, I'm looking at the qualifying board right now. I think they are literally 5th and 6th, so they are going to be right beside each other, which is going to be fun. Don't look for them to give much room, especially when there is a $50 payout to the highest finisher of the two. So we'll see how that plays out. But like we said, Gateway is very unique, and looking at that, Rick, I'd love to talk about really quick my specific keys to tonight's race. So again, Gateway, it's like a Darlington. It's like a Pocono in some ways with the wide sweeping corners. It's almost like a Milwaukee Mile meets, New Hampshire. So when you have those tracks, one thing that I really, really worry about here is specifically track position. I worry about how well you can keep track position. So I think qualifying up front is going to be big. The second thing is going to be right side tires. Like I mentioned before, you're going to have aero wash. You're going to have corners that are differentiating between the radiuses, or the radii, I guess you would say, which means the temperature of the tire is going to change every lap. So you have to make sure to keep ahead of your tires and don't burn up your right sides. And also, I think multiple grooves could be found here tonight, depending on how these drivers want to run this track. I mean, you can see in that shot right there, Rick, how long those straightaways are. I mean, it is ridiculously long. As you see some traffic now flowing into the racetrack a little bit late on the right side. Hey, they're going to be here just in time to catch the race. There they are. Look at that. Some lovely traffic coming in. But either way, though, track position, right side tires, multiple grooves. If you can master all 3 of those, you will win tonight in the Enjoy Illinois 150.
All right, so right now the drivers are in their driver meetings. They've got 3 or 4 minutes to finish that up, and then we'll get back to calling a race here. But in the meantime, certainly, as we said, this is a very unique track. I think that we'll see how that grooves work out. What we saw a lot in practice was that corner exit, specifically coming off of turn two, is treacherous. So I'm expecting that we'll be seeing when we do have incidents. I'm thinking turn two exit is where it's going to be. It's one of those tracks where as you come off turn two, you've got to be super easy on the throttle, ease your way back into it. Obviously, in a way that will give you the best launch off of an out of two, but you've got to be careful. Too much, you'll spin your tires and loop yourself around and take yourself out.
Yep, which is what you don't want. You do have a quick repair, but as always, you don't want to use that early in the race. You don't want to use it at all if you don't have to. But either way, it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers tackle WWT tonight.
Yeah, and also we need to keep an eye on pit road exit. This is one of those tracks where you actually come off pit road, and then it's a relatively narrow access road. There's not a whole lot of room for error there. It's as I think I know I have spun myself out coming off of pit road on this track.
Oh yeah, it's happened to me too. So it's going to be a crazy race off of pit road, especially if you see the battles. If we get, which we might have, some cautions and get everybody bunched up, how they're going to get out of pit road, and if it's under green as well, you try to go as fast as you can, but also you have to think about, okay, I can't drift through these corners. If I do, I'm going in the grass, and if I get in the grass, I'm sliding up right onto the track, onto the racing surface, which nobody wants.
Right.
Nobody wants that to happen.
So if you happen to be a driver listening in on our broadcast, what we're encouraging is a little bit of patience.
Patience is great.
Yeah.
Patience is always good, especially here on iRacing.
Absolutely. It's sometimes hard to fathom that you have to be patient, but you do. You can't just. This is one of those tracks that takes a lot of finesse. It takes a lot of patience. It takes some thought to how you get around and develop your rhythm, because I'll throw another word out there. This is one of those rhythm tracks that we talk about because it's so different. You've got to really be cognizant about how you get through 1 and 2 because it's completely different than 3 and 4. And no car, and I'm sure here even on iRacing, is set up perfectly for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Exactly, and that's the tough thing with this track, and that's why experience matters. You see time in and time out how the most experienced drivers typically rise to the top. Look at the Cup Series. The first two winners here in the Cup Series, none other than Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, two previous winners, two previous champions. That is, it's gonna happen. It's one of those tracks, just like Darlington. Who won at Darlington this year for the first time in 110 races? A previous Cup Series champion, Brad Keselowski. It's one of those races where previous Cup champions come to play and can feast. And speaking about who's going to feast tonight, let's talk about our starting lineup for the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150 presented by the iNRS and Admin Box. You got Jordan Wentzel there on the pole with Apex Motorsports, with Travis Bennett starting in second, Corey Bunch starting in third, with Brendan Hayes starting in fourth, Jordan Booth starting fifth, with Alex Forge Barubi. That is a battle for that in-season tournament with a lovely $50 purse attached to that. Pay attention to those two drivers there. Alex is starting in sixth. Alex Murphy there in seventh. Vernon Broadbeck in eighth. Jacob Mousseau there in ninth. And Tyler Lem starts in P10.
In 11th, Matthew Persini. 12th is Clark Franz. In 13th, you've got Vince Burns. Eric Jeffers, who is outside, in 14th. Joe Musso in 15th. Martin Giroux is in 16th. Tony Japs in 17th. Corey Ennis in 18th, Austin Walton in 19th, and Martin Pinnell is in 20th.
In 21st, you have Richard Mills with Michael Whitley Jr., who is outside in 22nd, Ron Fitting in 23rd, Simon Madgen there starting in 24th, Ty Bostic starting in 25th, and Tyler Sexton starting in 26th. Those two drivers did not post a qualifying time.
All right, let's get ready for this start. Drivers are being led down the backstretch, I believe, by our pace car. And this will put Jordan Wenzel in charge of this restart.
Yes, it will. It'd be really cool if iRacing could get those cannons in off the backstretch to launch on the pace lap, how they do in the Cup Series.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. They do fireworks. They could do it. It's easy. They're iRacing. They have what it takes. Here we go. Pace car dips off turn 4 here at WorldWide Technology Raceway. iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150 is now underway. Green flag in the air here. Double file as these next-gen Cup Series cars make their way down into turn 1.
Already drivers hunting for their line around this track. The contact with the wall. That was the 01 Bucky's car that brushed the safer barrier.
I'm not worried about it. They have enough people behind that pit road. They can get that thing fixed. You ever walked into a Bucky's? They have so many people in that place. It's wild. It's great, but it's wild.
Get yourself a brisket sandwich.
Oh, they're the best. They're the best. Lap 1 underway here. You got Jordan Wenzel getting another playoff point. He is at the point right now with Travis Bennett in second, Corey Bunch in third, Jordan Booth in fourth, and Brendan Hayes.
Already spinning.
We're wrecking in the back. Yep, there it is.
Caution has not flown. Alex Murphy was.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There's a caution.
There it is.
So that was interesting. That was on corner entry, which makes me think somebody who did not know when somebody else was going to brake. That's what my intuition tells me. Okay, that's turn 2. I think that happened way after, because that wasn't who was in the wall.
Well, I think there was two. I think there was actually 2 incidents. Let's watch this one, and then we'll look for another one.
Yeah, so you see the 30 dive into the corner. Gets loose.
He saves it, but that wasn't what happened. I think it was later.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit further back in the field.
Kind of going
right now.
That's the 30 there.
Maybe Martin Giroux?
Well, let's play this back just a little bit, see what we see. Oh, there we definitely found it.
There it is. That is the 55 machine right there. That is Vince Burns. And I believe that's 12 of Eric Jeffers. Oh. You know, I think it's exactly what I was thinking. I don't think Vince realized the breaking point and got into the 12, who got into the 24, that squeezed the 50 up against the wall.
Yep. 20 of Pinnell also gets a little bit of that as well. So there you have it. All right, our first caution of the night is out. Here we are, lap 4. So we're starting early. But it's one of those things. People have got to realize that these drivers will have to realize that they've got to be patient, and it's easy on fresh tires and new tires to lose a little grip. You can't put your foot into it on exit. You're gonna basically spin out.
And that's what we saw. It happens to the best of us. So that's our first caution of the night.
All right, so the lights are off on the pace car, which means we will go back to green next time by. Not much change up at the front, except we did see the 30 of Alex Murphy cycle back. He's dropped 7-8 spots back to round 14th. Top 5, top 6 stayed the same. A few movers a little bit. You saw Clark Francis moved up. He picked up 3-4 spots. Michael Whitley +9, big mover there. So Matt Pericini, big fall back. There's winners and losers, and unfortunately in that little incident, the 24, because he was involved in that incident, dropped back to 21st.
Well, it happens. It's how this track works, and it's unfortunate that it happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to you, Rick. It happens to everybody. You come in some races, you go, and next thing you know, we're going back to green, and here we are. So it looks like everybody's back on the track. Everybody's on the lead lap. So we are all good, ready to rock and roll. Green flag back in the air here in the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150. Great start for Jordan Wentzel on the bottom lane. He's going to move up and take that preferred line going into turn 1.
Yeah, the world is his oyster right now because he can pick and choose just how he wants to get around this track. Not so much for those folks behind him, especially if you're in traffic. And we've already seen this a little bit slick out there. You see there's a lot of the drivers and cars moving around a bit. So we're keeping an eye on that for you.
Yeah, it looks like everybody is single file, so not too bad right now. Got some side-by-side action there for 6th place. Oh, car on the wall, the 01, that is Travis Bennett. Smacked the turn 2 wall, and Rick, we were talking about how treacherous turn 2 is.
Yep.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, he actually had brushed that wall earlier when this race first started. He caught a little bit of it. That some of that's maybe just retraining how he gets off of turn 2, rethinking that approach because it has not worked for him.
Nope, he had some communication between the 41 and the 10 right there. I think Jordan pushed up just a little bit. No harm, no foul as we come out of turn 2 again.
Oh,
8
cars.
low.
He saved it. Whoever that back there, I think that was Corey Ennis in the 67.
It was.
That's exactly who that was. Unfortunately, he slipped back to the tail end of the field. Oh, and as we're watching, that's the 24, I think.
Man.
Matt Pericini, he was dirt tracking.
What a save.
Yeah, he was dirt tracking around 3 and 4.
Now, he just came across the radio. I wonder if he got a little help. Oh, yeah, he got a little help, Rick.
He got a little help.
Got a little help.
Well, you always catch the second punch. You never catch the first. So.
Exactly.
All right, this field is beginning to spread out a little bit, and as we talked about earlier about the uniqueness of this track, some guys are going to get it and some guys are going to struggle, and you're going to see that already. Here we are 10 laps in. Let's bring up that track map, and you can see that already we're stretched out the length of the entire backstretch with 26 competitors. Big battle, though, at the front here with Corey Bunch getting under Jordan Wentzel.
Yeah, he is. I don't think he's going to be able to make the pass, but he's still there. I think Jordan Wentzel just came across the radio. Not really sure what he said. I wish I could hear. Not much. Got the 42 on the radio right now. Not really sure what he's saying. Can't really tell. Again, let's see.
81 moves down and tries to put a little bit of a block on the 77. Brandon Hayes is in 3rd. Jordan Booth is in 5th. Let's bring up the timing tower so you can see where people are. Keep track of your driver. They are door to door, the 77 and the 81.
Yep, side by side out of turn 2. 10% of the way done here at WorldWide Technology Raceway, Madison, Illinois.
Super low. That 77 dropped right down to, there's a little bit of a rumble strip, I think, or right there at the apron of the track. Slight nose. Corey Bunch is credited with leading that lap. But a little bit off there. He's either may back out of throttle, not sure. let's go on board with Corey Bunch and have him take us around this track.
Let's do it. As you can see right now, he is all the way on those turtles. He's going to get a little bit loose there. Those turtles will bite you. And now he's going to probably get all the way up to about 8,600 RPM. Yep, he shifts right there, and then he's going to shift back down at about 75. Whoa, third gear.
Yeah,
I guess. Well, that shows you the last time that I raced at this racetrack, Rick.
Well, I don't know exactly what their transmission package is for gearing here, but you're right, that's super low. But is he doing it?
Oh, caution on the track! Caution on the track.
I think Ron Fitting may have been involved. Let's go back and see just what happened.
You're right. I see him across the board now. Also, I gotta say, his car is absolutely gorgeous. That is a beautiful Monster Energy scheme.
And it's pretty cool.
It's one of my favorites.
That's Ty Gibbs in front. I'm not Ty Gibbs. Ty Bostic in front. I was thinking Monster Energy. I just got to. Tony Chaps. Man, bad timing. Worse. That's unfortunate. So the 3 gets slammed by the 12. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's almost like when we had Ryan Newman on one of the races. It wasn't the actual Ryan Newman, but it was a Ryan Newman. It wasn't the Ty Gibbs. It was another car who drove the Monster Energy sponsorship. So
that's right.
There we go. But hey, Ty Gibbs, if you're watching, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. I guess iNRS would love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. He may be a bit busy.
He's racing some cars just like this, I think. I don't know.
Similar.
He does something like that.
Yeah. You may see him Sunday.
Maybe.
So 2 drivers on pit road, Vince Burns and Eric Jeffers, and Ron Fitting is also on pit road. Probably get some damage repaired. Definitely expected Eric Jeffers on. That was a vicious hit. He wound up, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time, in contact with the 3 of Ron Fitting.
If you think about it, the last 2 incidents weren't of his doing. Unfortunately, you had some mistimed braking there into turn 1, and he was the victim of that first caution, and now he becomes a part of the second caution.
The victim of the second
as
caution.
well. Yeah. So, third time's a charm. That's what I've heard. So, maybe he'll. Which I don't. I hope there's not a third caution. But if there is, I hope he's not in it. But now that I said that, it's probably going to happen because we're broadcasters and we curse everybody. So
we're fabulous at it, actually.
It's one of our many things we put on our resumes, Rick. When we try to bring on new leagues to talk about, we're like, we know we can guarantee you who's going to wreck when we call them out in the race. We're just that good at it.
Yeah.
But either way, looking at the top of the Fords, though, Jordan Wenzel, Corey Bunch, Brendan Hayes, Jordan Booth, and Vernon Broadbeck, your top 5 right now. Some of the biggest movers are the 94 of Michael Whitley, and you have Simon Madgen up all the way from 24th up to 13th or 14th right now. So he is battling his way up through this field.
Just kind of bringing up some manufacturer's information. You've got Jordan Wenzel in a Chevy up front, but he's got 3 Fords nipping at his heels, and then Vernon Broadback also up there, surrounded by Fords and a lone Toyota with Alex Forget-Berube.
Exactly. We got a comment on YouTube, I think it was a while back. It may have been new, but it says, this sad music is my only happy. Well, that's a heck of a username. He says everyone knows the race is lap 1, turn 1. That is exactly right. You have identified every form of motorsports. Good job, sir. There we go. But here we go. Green flag back in the air here at WorldWide Technology Raceway. Another good start by the 81. Moves up again as we see this field dive into turn 1.
Oh, big contact. The 01 gets wrecked.
Oh, big wreck. We're wrecking. Big wreck. Multiple cars involved. 01, you got the 20, you got the 94, Michael Whitley.
Richard Mills, Martin Pinnell, Vince Burns, Tyler Sexton, Bostic, Barasini, Whitley, lots of drivers involved. We're watching the 01. He just, and he towed back to the pits, unfortunately. Yeah, we can go back and look at that incident. But where it happened was just a little bit, unfortunately.
Was it another
No, I
mistimed
think he
braking?
got tapped in the rear by Musso.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed this happen a lot of this track. Tough hit right there.
94 goes around, collects the 75, the
Oh,
15.
the 75. The 75, I think, got through okay. 17 gets a piece of it. The 50, the 5, 67.
So it's like Whitley and the 01 of Travis Bennett severely damaged in that incident. But he is not. Yeah, I would assume. Well, he towed, so he's going to wait it out. So how that works with iRacing, if you're unfamiliar, is that if you quote unquote tow, there's time that it takes to get your car back to pit road. You're teleported there through the magic of iRacing back to your pit, but a timer starts, and depending on the track, it depends on how long that timer runs. And unfortunately, you lose time while that's happening. Once that timer expires, you can then execute the repairs needed, or you can use your quick repair and get back out. But unfortunately, on shorter tracks like this, you may wind up losing a lap or two in the pits.
You might, and that's the name of the game here. The drivers who are a lap down right now, you have Ron Fitting 4 laps down, Eric Jeffers 3 laps down, and Travis Bennett 2 laps down. Unfortunate there. We did have a EOL given, in-race EOL, to Joseph Musso, the number 28 car. I believe that was for that contact, I would imagine.
I would imagine that as well. I know that there is a very proactive race administration here, and they have the ability to hand out in-racing penalty.
It's a good thing, honestly. You know, it's you hate to see it when it happens, but sometimes it's easier to do that, to give an EOL or give a drive-through, instead of after race penalties. So kudos to the iNRS series. But Rick, right now we are lap 21 under way here of 120, and looking at the top 4 right now, you have Jordan Winsel up 0 positions, Corey Bunch up 1 position, Jordan Booth up 2 positions, Brendan Hayes up 0 positions. Top 4 have had a combined 0.8 spots gained if you average them out. And so, track position, I think, is very, very important here, at least in the early stages.
Completely agree. All right, so the lights are about to go off on top of our pace car. There it goes, and we will get this field formed back up. I think it was actually the 25 of Jacob Musso that may have gotten that EOL. Does that show, John?
I see both. I see Joseph and I see Jacob.
Both with an EOL?
Yep, both with an EOL.
All right. So it's like the 01 of Travis Bennett is back out. He got his repairs made. Unfortunately, he is going to be waiting for the details to come up, but he's a lap or 2 down, John?
Yes. Travis Bennett 2 laps down. Eric Jeffers 5 and Ron Fitting 6.
Right. Good comment so far on the YouTube broadcast. Our friend Sad Music is commentated on the damage to the 01 of Travis Bennett, and it's called it Beaver Roadkill.
Well, I hate to see it. Yeah, poor Bucky. Poor Bucky. Green flag. Oh, big stack up. This may produce a wreck, Rick. We are 3 wide at the line. 3 wide. That was not on purpose.
We're still 3 wide in the middle of the field. Looking back, that's the 19 of Alex Berrubi. He was 3 wide for a moment there.
Yeah, I think there were some drivers who got out of line. I don't think that was on purpose. I think they were forced. I think the whole field stacked.
Looks like the 28 looking through the some comments. Looks like the 28 was voluntarily took the EOL. Probably
Gotcha.
may have been just a little bit too chippy there. Decided to back out a little bit.
Don't blame him.
No. It's definitely. Oh, car was.
Oh,
spinning.
car. Yep, and a car stuck all the way in the top, all the way in the back. I believe that is Vince Burns.
Yep, the dirt tracking around was the 24 of Martin Pericini. But we're looking side by side here as Jordan Booth and Rory Bunch battling.
That was close. Jordan Booth didn't give much room to that 77 of Corey Bunch off corner exit.
Brendan Hayes now below the 77. Trying to work his way around. We're keeping an eye on what's going on around the track and do our best to bring it to you. So this is one of those unique tracks where you really want to have you'll probably take you'll see different lines occurring from 1 to 2, which will be completely different from 3 and 4.
Exactly, and that's where you're going to see drivers excel at some corners and not do so hot on others. It's just the nature of the beast here at WorldWide Technology Raceway.
A couple drivers still coming off of pit road. I think the 3 and the 12. 12 is still in the pits. The 3 is now making his way. That's Ron Fitting getting back onto the track, but we are focused on the front here as the 41 challenges the 81 for the lead, slips under the 81.
Yep, he is there. 41. Now we're going to get 3 wide down here for the lead. 3 wide for the lead. That was very close to the wall. The 81 was.
Corey Bunch is low. He continues to like to run on that rumble strip right there.
Oh, got a car all the way to the bottom. I believe that was Alex Berrubi.
Yeah, he was back there. He's back up. 81 is back in control, gets around. I can't be certain, but I'm seeing that these guys are really struggling to be able to execute some of these passes.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit for sure. And I think it's just the nature of this track. I think it's a tough place to pass because the preferred lane is almost the middle groove. And so when that happens, you have differentiating lines with the low line that historically many tracks you go to is the fastest way around. Not here at Gateway or WorldWide Technology Raceway.
Absolutely.
So right now you see that 41 all over the back doorstep of that 81. He has a run right here. He may look to the bottom. He does. What Jordan Winsel does once he gets into turn 1, we're about to see. Oh, 41 locked it up big time. Car into the wall.
That's the 10 of Vernon Broadbeck. Oh, loose.
81 of the wall.
Contact.
3 wide.
Oh, more contact.
Oh. That 41 is not giving many people much room, Rick.
Not tonight, anyway, for sure. Scott Thomas is not in the event tonight. We're lucky to have him as a part of our audience. And he commented, wow, some ARCA brakes on that last caution. Yep, we absolutely saw that.
Just a little bit. Just a few.
Yep, just a bit. I think Vernon's really struggling in the 10. Seen him
Yeah, turn
slide
one.
up. Yeah.
Turn one every time.
So we're 31 laps into this. A few drivers have gone down pit road because of earlier incidents, but we should begin to see very soon some pit stops occurring again. We do have a stage break coming up.
Yep, lap 40. Lap 40 is the stage break.
They may not need. They may be able to stretch it out.
I think they'll be able to. I think they'll be able to stretch it.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Got side-by-side action there for third place. You have the 40 of Brendan Hayes underneath Jordan Wenzel there.
Spin.
Oh,
caution out. Simon Magin. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Simon again. Here. That's the 30 of Alex Murphy in front. He tried to save it.
Close, but no cigar.
What was close was a couple of drivers making it past him without contact.
That is very true. That is very true.
All right, so this is an interesting time with the caution being out. Guessing they don't think they have to come in, but do you come in?
I do. I would.
Corey Bush doesn't.
Oh, faked them.
Yeah.
I like coming down pit road. I do. You're only going to get 4 laps on a set of tires. I mean, why not?
Jordan Wenzel, there are just a handful of drivers who took that opportunity to come down pit road. I got Jordan Wenzel, Alex Murphy, Richard Mills, Matt Barasini, Ty Bostic, obviously Simon from his incident. But do you think they faked him out and he came down because he thought they all were?
I definitely think it was a fake out, but I don't mind it, honestly.
Well, we'll go back to green flag racing in at least a couple different laps. That you see the 01 of Bennett getting a lap back. Let's get a standing here. So fourth caution, this is lap 35. They'll get the one to go, 36, 37. You're only going to have a couple of laps before we go to the stage break caution.
Yeah, that's why I like coming down pit road. I think that the few laps that you're on pit road, or that you're on the track with those new tires, I don't think it's going to matter too much, especially since we're not going to get the green or get the one to go this time by. I think you might as well just come get tires and get it done with. And then, you could, even if you want to, just come get a splash of fuel. You should cycle back up to the front at the end, or play the fuel strategy game and maybe just wait it out.
Well, the 81 of Jordan Wenzel, he took that opportunity, went down, got a full 4-tire stop in fuel. Took him 15.05 seconds, so he is good to go. He will not have to probably come back in at that point on the competition caution at lap 40.
Nope, and looking at some other drivers who did the same, Alex Murphy, Matt Perusini, Ty Bostic, Simon Magin, Richard Mills, Ty Bostic, and Vince Burns.
So what they gave away were stage points. Now, for a lot of drivers, that would matter. Looking at the current standings, Corey Bunch has already got a win, so that's not hugely important to him. But it will be going forward.
Yes, it will.
All right, lights are out on top of our pace car. We're going to get this back underway. Next time by, again, competition caution at the end of lap 40. That will be just 3 or so laps away on this restart. We thank you for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS event tonight, the Enjoy Illinois 150. We appreciate you spending your Thursday night with us, or you're watching this on replay. We ask that you like and follow along with the IWM Broadcast Network so we can keep you up to date on these events as well as others that we will be covering on our network. So we thank you for tuning in and tag along. All right, we're about to get underway.
All right, green flag in the air, and you can see right there, Corey Bunch got a jump on the field. Now everybody's going to be side by side around here now for the next 2 laps, and we got cars all over the track, Rick.
Yeah, they're door to door here with just a couple laps. 41 getting under the 10. These guys do not have fresh tires. We are keeping an eye to number of other drivers who did happen to come in on that last stop. Richard Wenzel is right now back in 16th. Back farther in the field. Side-by-side action with the 94 of Michael Whitley. That's the 17 of Austin Walton on the outside and the 25 of Jacob Musso to his rear. They're chasing the 15 of Clark Franz, who's having a good showing tonight. He's currently up to 8th.
Yes, he is. And already coming out of turn 4 right now, Corey Bunch is going to be the leader at the line. And that is going to be the end of the stage. Once that yellow flag flies, there it is. Corey Bunch gets that stage win. And then also, we talked about in the pre-race, he was the previous winner here at WorldWide Technology Raceway, WWT. So could we see this setting up to be another win for that 77 team?
Yeah, that Full Throttle Motorsports, I believe, is currently right now sitting in 2nd in the team championship. A win for Corey would be a good way to try to edge up and get closer to those Ford XLI guys. But all he has to do is look in his rearview mirror, and Booth and Hayes are right there in 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, yep. They are there for sure.
All right, I expect to see, everybody on pit road. Not with that angle.
But I believe you're right. Everybody is going to make their way down pit road here.
Except for those guys who came in last time.
Which is what I was anticipating happening. All right. Got to watch out for that that staircase.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come out and bite you. All right, everybody getting 4 tires and fuel. First official stop of the night for some of these drivers, so we'll see how this plays out. All right, here we go. 77 looks like he's going to win the race off of pit road, followed by, I believe that is Jordan Booth and Brendan Hayes.
Yep, they came in 1, 2, 3. I think they're exiting 1, 2, 3. I think that I think that Travis Bennett has unlapped himself with that caution and finds himself now at the tail end of the lead lap. Just could be a very interesting restart.
Yes, it could. Yes, it could for
Jordan
sure.
Wenzel finds himself back in charge. He started from the pole. He's now found himself back up to the #1 slot. You got Alex Murphy, Matt Persini, Simon Magin, Ty Bostic. That's your top 5. Those guys did not come in that round. They had pitted earlier on lap 34. And then you've got a hungry bunch of drivers that are just going to be nipping at their heels, sitting back in 6th to the end.
I love the call. I love the call right here because you have drivers who are going to have an advantage of track position. I mean, look at Simon Magin and Ty Bostic up 20 spots just by staying out. And then you also have Jordan Wenzel who's cycling back up to the lead there. I don't think I would be more worried about fuel than tires, mainly because of the fact that we don't really know what a full green flag run is going to be because we haven't had a full green flag run. So, could that be a big advantage to staying out and doing that? I love it. I think it's a good call. It cycles Wenzel back up to the lead, and I think we'll see how this plays out at the tail end of this run because 4 laps on tires, it's not a lot. It's not a big difference.
No, and take away this competition caution, which is our 5th caution. We've had, we don't like to talk about those averages, but we're averaging about a caution every 10 laps. So, it's I don't think fuel is going to be difficult to obtain because I think cautions will fly. Now, how you plan, because you've got to figure out how you're going to put yourself in position to win. That's going to be the tricky part.
Absolutely.
So Jordan Wenzel decided to take the outside line. Leader does have lane choice. He chose the outside.
And here we go. We're about to get this green flag back underway, this race underway here with the 81 in the lead. Green flag back in the air. You see a little bit of stack up, but they should be all right as Jordan Wenzel leads this field down into turn 1. A lot of cars side by side going into turn 1 and turn 2. The driver that you want to pay attention to is Corey Bunch in that 77. He is the first car on pressure tires, already up to 4th after this caution.
He's hunting down the 46 of Simon Magin and Alex Murphy. Oh, the 46 loses it, goes around.
Oh, he's wrecked. He is wrecked up at the top of the wall. That's going to be a caution.
Caution has flown already.
What in the world happened there?
I think he just lost it. Fresh tires, fresher tires, but or just. Watching the 46, the 77 is behind him, but I don't believe there was contact. In fact, he is far enough away. I think just loses traction.
Yeah, just a little bit loose. And that brings out our 5th caution of the night. And Rick, you said it. Or by that, yep, that's our 6th, excuse me. That would be a caution every 8 laps. That's pretty darn close to the words that I did not want to say, which is the trend. You brought up the trends, and we have the trends here at the IWM Broadcast Network, unfortunately. But hey, it happens.
It does. And, going back to what we had talked about before, that just is typical here at this type of a track. It is a driver's track. It takes a lot of experience, a lot of laps being practiced here to try and, I won't say master, but to balance between the uniqueness of turns 1 and 2 to 3 and 4.
For sure.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Our mission at Coastal Financial is to provide comprehensive financial planning solutions tailored to each individual's unique needs and goals, with the aim of empowering our clients to make informed financial decisions and achieve their financial potential. Our focus is providing the highest level of service to our clients, including successful business owners, professionals, and non-profit organizations. Our commitment is to helping you improve your financial position, reach your financial goals, and safeguard your family and business. Our goal is to provide you with the resources and guidance necessary to accomplish these objectives. Our process utilizes a thorough and exclusive financial analysis, efficient implementation of recommendations, and continual re-evaluation of fluctuating dynamics. You can find us at coastalfinancial.com or on Facebook at Coastal Financial.
Welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150. We are under caution for a spin by the 46 of Simon Magin on that restart. So we are under caution now. Jordan Wenzel is the car in charge, and we'll see where he chooses next time's by. John, the last time Jordan chose the high line.
He did, and it worked.
"50 laps are in the books. We're almost to the halfway point. Now Alex Murphy finds himself in P2. He is +5 from his original starting position. The biggest mover I see so far is that guy sitting in 5th, Ty Bostic. He is up 20 from his starting position at 25th. You see the 46 of Simon Magic coming off of pit road. He will be the last car on the lead lap. I'm afraid Eric Jeffers, I believe, has retired.
That is correct. He has retired. Unfortunate.
All right, Jordan chooses again to take that outside line, putting Alex Murphy underneath, the 24 of Matt Perosini to the outside, and Corey Bunch is finding himself in 4th. got Brendan Hayes with 40 XLI, and then Ty Bostic. We'll see how this all plays.
It's going to be a wild start to this one, I can tell you that right now. Got some mixed strategy already forming. All right, here we go. Green flag back in the air. Got a great start from the outside line with Jordan Winsel up there. We'll see who now dives deep into turn 1. Oh, car loose end. We're going to wreck. We're wrecking, Rick.
That's the 10 of Verdon Broadback. The 94 is involved.
Oh, hit the brakes.
Oh, that's the 28 goes around 50. I don't think there's a lot of damage there, but a lot of drivers involved.
You hate to see it.
Yep. Yep. This could be a pretty good news for Ron Fitting, though. In the 3, I think he'll get another lap back.
I believe that's true.
Always looking for some silver lining.
Exactly. I like your positivity, Rick. I like it. It's great because the trend is killed right now. The trend's gone.
Well, the 3 finds himself 10 laps down, so every lap counts. So hopefully, well, I won't say it. All right. I don't want to have 10 more cautions, but it's all good. All right, so let's take a quick look back. Try to see what happened. Looking at it from behind, the contact was up in front. I think that was Alex Forget possibly involved.
I think so.
And, well, wait, you know who that was? That was Alex Forget and Jordan Booth.
Oh.
We are gonna look at this a little bit different. So we're watching this go on. That's the 19 of Alex Forget Berube up in front of the 41 of Jordan Booth, and there is contact sending the 19, but he saves it. The 41.
He did save it. Look at that.
Both saved it, but unfortunately, well,
it was netcode, but contact was going to happen.
Yeah, their actions of that little retaliatory bump sends the 41 back up. That is the impetus to this incident.
Well. Look at that. So, Rick, I talked about rivalries.
Yeah.
It's swing and a miss.
But
swing and a miss.
Yeah, that rivalry unfortunately decided to take and get involved nearly half the field in this incident.
But I do agree with you, though. Not too much damage. So these drivers should be okay. Kias should.
Yeah. I think if you ask Martin Giroux and Joe Musso, they would may disagree with you. I'm not sure.
Probably.
Yeah, those guys were impacted, but all right. So looks like that incident here on lap 54 was because of a little bit of contact with Booth and Berube. And you never know what admin may do. They may.
I haven't seen anything yet.
Nothing yet, but unfortunately, that's what caused that caution. Our 7th caution of the night here at lap 54.
And Rick, look who's right in front of that 41.
Yeah, we're watching.
I think that's going to be something we should keep our eyes on, our eyes peeled on, or peeled for.
All right, at the stripe, the lights are off on our pace car, which means we are going to form back up and get this restarted. Maybe with a little less contact between the 19 and the 41.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. That 19 is all the way up on the Brendan Hayes' bumper right now. He's like, get me out of here.
He's got a little bit of gap between himself and the 41. Let's see if he can leverage that. We'll see how it goes. All right, lap 56. We're about to get the green to go back to racing here at WorldWide Technology Raceway with the iNRS Series Enjoy Illinois 150. You'll see this same track on this weekend in the Cup Series and NASCAR. They will be there as well. I don't believe all the series are there. I could be wrong.
No, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Xfinity Series is up in Portland.
Gotcha.
All right, green flag ready here at WorldWide Technology Raceway. Got Jordan Winsel out front, Alex Murphy, Corey Bunch, Matt Perusini all the way up there at the P4.
Keeping an eye on these drivers here, mid-pack.
Oh, 99's a little loose there.
Well, I think 99 had a lot of 41 on his bumper.
Yeah, he did get loose. Oh, 41's loose, 41 sideways, 41's loose up against the wall. Jordan Booth up against the wall. Well,
caution did not fly. Oh.
And, oh, he blinked. I thought he retired for a second.
I thought he did too, but no, he blinked. So that's typically a connection problem. We are at the mercy of the internet here. All right, so he is back at the tail end of the lead lap. Back up front. Jordan Wenzel is leading. Corey Bunch on his tail, and they've got a little bit of a gap between themselves.
Just a wee bit of a gap.
Just a wee bit. But enough that you see the 77 of Corey Bunch slipping underneath, trying to get a run. I think that high line is the most solid way to get around here.
I would agree. I will strongly agree with you on that one.
I think Corey does it. He's right now. We know from his in-car that he is. We can bring up his dashboard. We can do that. It should be able to actually give us some more information. So that little bit of information to the right there will tell you not only the driver's speed, but below it you'll see that he is in third gear as he's going around this track, and his shifting points.
Oh, wrecking in the back. Big wreck. And we're still wrecking. Big wreck. Vince Burns.
Ty Bostic.
Diffuser flying all over the place.
Tyler Sexton, Richard Mills, Martin Pinnell also involved. All right, let's try to unpack whatever just happened here at lap 62. Oh, it's already happening. That's the 19 of Alex Berube up in front. And I don't think he had any help. I think he just went around. But we'll take this. There's contact with the 01 spinning the 22. Oh, and then the 15. There you go.
Well, Rick.
Yep, I know.
Trends.
Number of other drivers you saw that were involved in that incident. 35, the 55. Oh, the 5 almost flipped over. Okay, pit road's pretty busy. Jordan Booth, Vernon Broadbeck, Clark Franz, Vince Burns, Austin Walton, Martin Pinnell, Richard Mills, Bostic, and Sexton all on pit road. Okay, here we are under our 8th caution of the night. 7 for incidents, 1 for competition. Kurt Wenzel continues to lead. Corey Bunch is in 2nd. We just passed the halfway point here at WorldWide Technology Raceway. Are we doing the math, John?
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's exactly 8. It's exactly 8 right now.
It is. It is.
8 laps per caution.
Well, we can hope that it's not going to continue. These guys will get it around and figure it out. Yep, that's my hope.
Well, Rick.
Eternal optimism.
Eternal optimism for sure, but I'm no spring chicken.
Oh, actually, I think you are, John.
Just maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit, but I know my stuff. I know my stuff. Keeping this PG, keeping this PG.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, well, either way.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, folks, to the IWM broadcast here of the Enjoy Illinois 150 here with the iNRS Racing Series. There's a comment on YouTube that the cars on the highway in the background are going quicker than the guys on the track. Well, yeah, but the cars on the highway in the background, they don't have any corners to contend with, but you may be correct.
I think that individual's correct, Rick. Those cars, maybe it's people leaving, which would be bad.
I don't know. Those grandstands are seeing a lot of action here.
They are
at WorldWide Technology Raceway.
They are jam packed all the way around. Look at that turn 1 and turn 2. A couple empty seats, but not many.
They're getting beer. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they are. They're just stocking up for our 8. There, see, they're coming back. Look at that. They're coming back. Look at all that traffic right there.
All right, Jordan Wenzel is in charge. He's elected to take the outside line on this restart, and this restart is in his hands. He has got the 77 of Corey Bunch to his inside. Those guys have been battling at least for the last 10 laps or so. Got the 24 of Matt Perosini in that Edmonton Oilers 24. And the 40 of Brandon Hayes and 40 XLI just beneath.
There they are. Alrighty, pace car is dipped down. We're back on the front stretch. 81's the control car, and he has pressed the gas. Green flag back in the air here at WorldWide Technology Raceway, Gateway Motorsports Park, whatever you would like to call it here.
Hey, and the good news is that Ron Fitting is only 8 laps down now.
You know, with averages,
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah,
you never know. So
side by side battle.
Right,
yeah, with the 40 and the 24, but right up front, Bunch is on Wenzel's behind.
Yes, he is, and we're going to see some maybe some 3-wide action a little bit back in the pack.
That's the 3 of Ron Fitting, who just the 77 spins, but he holds it.
Saved it. What a save by the 77.
Caution did not come out, but that puts the 77 of Corey Bunch somewhere about 16th back in the field. And he will have a lot to contend with trying to get back up. The 10 of Vernon Broadbeck right there was a little loose.
And that's what can happen. If you heat these tires up a little too much, you will slide. You will slide big time
Yeah, I am
on
not
this
sure
surface.
that this is the 10's favorite track.
I don't think so. Got another car loose on the inside right there. I believe that is Michael Whitley
Yep, we
Jr.
saw
Low.
Ty Bostic loose as well at the tail end of the field, but both drivers saved it. A lot of action on the track. Jordan Booth is now back up to 12th. He was all the way back, I think, in 24th. But he looks like he's having trouble as well.
He is. Again, this track is one of the slickest on the schedule, so I would not be surprised if you saw all these drivers sliding around.
Well, you know, you made an earlier comparison to New Hampshire with its flat corners, and you just never know. Oh, Matt Perricini is just dropping like a stone. What just happened to Matt?
I don't know. He is.
He's gone.
He's gone and out of there.
I think he may have had a connection issue. Is he back?
I see him. He's on the track somewhere, but we can't see him. Oh, he is
now in 5th.
Yep,
Okay.
That was a very big blink. It's probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen, actually.
Yeah.
The fact he sells his position is spectacular.
So what we mean by that is that there was a connection issue with the 24, and the only way that iRacing, the car disappears, and when that connection issue is resolved, if it's in a timely fashion, he'll reappear. Sometimes it's just gone for a fraction of a second. That time it was multiple seconds. But he retained most of his positions. All right. So the 40 of Brendan Hayes, last week's winner in Charlotte, is now nipping at the heels of the 81. Oh, caution's out. Corey Ennis, Tyler Sexton, possibly. Yep, these two guys are tangled up here. Lap 72.
Man, that's exactly on. That's exactly 8 laps.
We're doing our times tables, are we not?
Oh, this 35 is going to hit that wall and bounce back.
The 10 is in the wrong place at the wrong time, but he zips by the 17, makes it under. That's Walton. All right, there you go. '67 of Corey Ennis decides it's time to go and get new tires, but that also brings the whole field down. Well, I say that, most of the field down. I think Vince Burns elected to stay out. He had pitted on lap 62 along with Richard Mills. Those drivers elect to stay out. I think if anybody gets a wave around, I think that would be Joe Musso in the 28. But I think the biggest gain here has got to be Jordan Booth in the 41. After that pit stop, he is now finding himself up in 4th. Now that front row is going to be dominated by two drivers who pitted last about 11 laps ago with Vince Burns and Richard Mills.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the comments. The commentary tonight on YouTube is hilarious. So, one comment: at this rate, let's put the Dodge Neon in the group and let them send it. Dodge Neon was, I think, one of the cars on the freeway. And the comment of, I mean, the wall has been there all night, but not to the 35 of Tyler Sexton.
No, it just showed up there.
It just jumped out.
It literally just jumped out at you. Well, we appreciate the good humor.
Yeah, you're keeping us
there.
laughing and smiling as we bring to you the iNRS Racing Series tonight. So thank you for those comments. We are on our 9th caution of the night here at lap 75.
Well, we are about 66% of the way through this race, Rick, once we get to lap 80.
Yep.
2/3 of the way done.
Vince Burns will be in charge of this restart with the PetSmart 55. We'll see which line he elects to start from.
Wall gave a fist bump.
Maybe a bit more than a fist bump.
Maybe a punch.
Yep.
Just a sucker punch on the right side.
Well, that puts the 67 of Coriolis. He is one lap down, so if he can hold that position, he will get his lap back at the next restart, if there is one. Need an over-under.
If there is one.
All right, looks like the lights are out on our pace car, and the 55 has elected to take that outside line. The 5 of Richard Mills, Grease Monkey Motorsports, Interstate Batteries. Toyota is in charge of that low line. We'll see how that goes.
You have an 11 lap difference right there on those tires, so we're about to find out. Green flag is approaching, and green flag is out now. Vince Burns with a great shot to the outside, followed by Jordan Booth.
That 5 did not seem to get the restart that he wanted. Now we're nearly 3 wide. Back here with the 5.
And that 5 is going to drop back.
And everybody behind him has got fresh tires.
Everybody. Don't know if that 5 is going to stick down there. He's going to wash up just a little bit potentially.
That's Alex Jay Barubi to his outside. There's contact.
Yep, here comes the lead. Oh, car on the wall. Watch out, guys.
That's the 19. There was contact with the 5, and he wound up in the wall. 42 locked up his brakes. That's Tony Japs making that corner. Only way he made that corner around was he was on the binders. Trying to slow that car down.
We got a caution. We got a caution.
That's Alex Jay Barubi. I think he wound up a victim in that earlier contact with the 5.
Now, what happened here? Because he was, I mean, all the way in the back.
No, he was up farther. So 20 of Pinnell beneath him.
He's still on the gas. Still on the gas.
20 also is losing it. The 3 slips in between. They split those two. Number of drivers do.
That's interesting. Can we go on board with the 19?
Yeah, I want to go back up a little bit farther with Alex.
Yeah, I want to see what happened there coming out of turn 4. That's where really this whole thing started.
I think we're here. So this is where the 5 was slipping back. And as they're headed down the backstretch, I think things get a little bit hairy as they're coming into turn 3.
So the 19 is already backed out of the gas. You see everybody now out of the gas.
5 has
There's
as well, but he's got the 40 beneath him.
19's already a little loose. I could tell by his line. You could see him sideways, kind of cutting the corner. Now he straightens back up. He's out of the gas right there. His car just seems a little bit more pointed than the 5.
There's the contact I spoke of. That sends the 19 into the wall.
Yep, 19's into the wall. And then did he just spin all by himself in turn 1?
He's riding the wall. Cars are working their way around him. Now he's off the wall. And that's where we saw the 20. Yep, all by himself.
Oh, that brings out our 10th caution of the night.
Here on lap 81, that incident was actually lap 78 officially. But new leader, the
Jordan
41
Booth.
of Jordan Booth, finds himself at the front.
You got Mosh Racing, Nathan Lamb, and Rick. The trend is 8. The trend is 8. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
So by my calculations, we're going to end up with 15 cautions.
Okay, well, maybe they can beat that. We'll give it a shot. We'll see.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
that is where my trend is at the current moment. Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning in to tonight's iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150.
All right. Lights should go off on our pace car. Here we go. I think Jordan's going to take that outside line. Puts the 55 of Vince Burns in to the inside of the 41 of Jordan Booth. Jordan Wenzel now finds himself right there. He's worked his way back up.
Nathan said, Booth from nowhere to the front looking like Dale Sr. at Talladega in 2000. Well, Jordan, I hope you play that back and that's your new ringtone because you just got compared to one of the GOATs. Green flag back in the air as he leads this field down into turn 1.
Already the 55 is spinning.
May get a caution. And we're getting wrecked. Big wreck. Oh, ARCA braking. No. Oh, goodness, Rick. Oh, goodness.
A significant amount of the entire field damaged or involved. Clark Franz, Jacob Musa, Martin Pinnell, Tyler Sexton, Corey Bunch went off the track. Vince Burns. Let's go back to, wow. So, let's grab
The 55. That was the first start of this.
Yeah, somehow it rippled all the way to the tail end of the field, but let's try to go back and see if that's where the yellow flag happened here. "55 spins. Unfortunately, he comes back up on the track trying to save it. 30 doors, the 46 Imagine, 25 at the 94, into the 15, the 77 of Corey Bunch. Makes it through, but there's spinning everywhere. Let's back that up from here. So you see the 55 spinning up on top. He tags, and it's basically reactions to what he did. Unfortunately, drivers are trying to get around it, and unfortunately collects. That's Bostic there. You can see events happening around. He's trying to avoid getting engaged. The 19 slips by. The 3 slips by as well. But lots of action. And number of drivers on pit road: Vince Burns, Austin Walton, Martin Pinnell, Clark France, Tyra Sexton also on pit road. Okay, lap 85. We are slowly working our way towards the conclusion of this event. We thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Welcome to the New York Pizzeria in Cato, New York. The New York Pizzeria has been bringing Central New York the best meals and snacks in the business for generations. Located at the four corners of State Routes 34 and 370, the New York Pizzeria is easy to find and impossible not to love. Aside from delicious pizza served to go or in-house, the food is always fresh and made by the local and talented staff. The New York Pizzeria prides itself on dishes including always fresh pizza by the pie, slice, or sheet with all the topping options you could want. The one-of-a-kind Jenny Wings. A mild, sweet and sour take on traditional bone-in or boneless chicken wings. And fresh-to-order garlic cheese bread, chicken parm subs and a prime variety of cold beverages. Do yourself and a legendary local business a favor and have what is truly one of the originals. The New York Pizzeria. Order today.
All right, thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast network of the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150. We are under caution for the 11th time tonight.
We appreciate you sticking with us, though.
Yep, there was a incident with the 55 of Vince Burns, and unfortunately that collected a number of drivers. I would say at least a third of the field were involved in incidents. Now in this league they do have a quick repair, which means they can go into the pits. They can get their car repaired quickly and come back out. Although there has been a number of incidents tonight, there's been only one retiree. I'm sorry, maybe it's got one retiree right now. I've got Eric Jeffers. And I think Matt Pirosini is currently retired. Although I could be, I can't tell. He's no longer on my board. There may be a connection issue there. But regardless, we are about to get back underway here. Pace car is off. 41 Jordan Booth is in charge. Oh,
And
contact.
green flag back in the big stack up there all the way through the field. Big stack up.
99, Tyro Lem just did not get the jump he wanted, and it stacked up everybody. There was lots of banging all the way. The 01 is back up towards the front. Travis Bennett has returned to the top 5. Jordan Booth just runs away. Travis Bennett slips under the 5 of Richard Mills, taking over 4th place. '24 of Pericini is back on track, and he is in 5th place.
Oh, 01 is loose right there. 3 wide now, as the 81 of Jordan Winsel is getting just stuck back. Like he's drafting and has no partners there at Talladega. Left by himself.
Saw the 50 on the pit road exit. Not sure what happened. He's coming into pit road. Corey Bunch is mired back there. He's currently sitting in 10th, but he's got a lot of cars in front of him. Is on pit road. I think the 55 of, sorry, the, what was it, 55 was back there. There's a car in the back with a missing front clip. He's working his way around the track. Oh, contact with a 41 and the 10.
Oh, we're wrecking. Caution is out.
There's contact between the 41 and Vince Burns. I'm sorry, 41 and Vernon Broadbeck in the 10. So you see the 77 of Corey Bunch to the outside. The 40 of, I'm sorry, it's Brandon Hayes, not the 41. Hits the left rear quarter panel of the 10, sending him around. There seems to be some incidental contact with the 77. That sends a 40 up into the safer barrier. And then there's some collateral damage in the back of the field. That's the 20 of Martin Pinnell, who winds up going dirt tracking off and onto the exit of the pit road. Okay, that is our 12th caution of the night here on lap 92. Now that does bring up an interesting thought here. I mean, of course, we've been under caution a lot, but these drivers only need one more stop.
Yes, they do. I mean, the last time these drivers pit were 20 laps ago. So you got to start thinking about that now. Do you just come in and get it now? Now, I don't think you could go 47 laps on a single tank, but
well, there's only
trends.
There's only 27 left.
Yep. So trends. You know, thinking about that, if all these drivers did stay out, they would be 47. Everybody pit on lap 73. That's the top 10 right now, top 9. So you'd have to go 47 laps on their last pit.
If you look back around position 7, Richard Mills, Pinnell, Brendan Hayes, those guys have all come in. Now, granted, they may have been involved in that incident, but you know, that could bode well. They could be done.
They could. I think it's a big risk to stay out. But again, going back to one of my keys, track position, you know, I did not predict a 12 caution race by lap 93, but track position can come in many forms, and that can often be come in the form of many cautions.
All right, we'll be going back to green flag racing probably in a lap and a half here, so we'll see how this plays out.
Now, Rick, what would you do? Let me ask you this. Let's say you're Jordan Booth up in the lead. You know you have to go. Let's say you would try to go all the way to the end. You know cautions have been flying roughly every 8 laps. Do you want to be that driver, or do you want to be a Richard Mills, a Martin Pinnell, a Brendan Hayes? Come down pit road now, know that you can make it to the end, and you have fresher tires.
Well, I think that it's not a risk to stay out because we're seeing cautions every 8 or so laps. So if I've got enough fuel to make it, since I've been just kind of cruising along here, then I'm going to expect that somewhere around lap 100, 105, there's going to be a caution again.
Yep.
And I may choose to pit then. Or since they're coming down, they're happening so often, you know, you almost just try to figure out where you are in your fuel cycle and go then, because since they pitted last on lap 73, we probably had 3 or 4 cautions.
Exactly.
So that 35, what do you say, 35 laps or so per tank?
Roughly. Mm-hmm.
You know, they probably now could probably stress it out to, you said 47, it could be almost 50 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, doing the math on that, it could work in their favor if they're saving.
Yeah, they may not have to come. I don't know. We'll see.
Now the issue comes if there's green-white checkers. That's the one thing that I'd be worried about.
So my guess is they all will have to come back in one more time, but they've got some time to figure out when to do it.
Yes, they will. All right, we're about to figure out how this race is going to end here. 26 laps to go, 25 to go at the line. The 41 is the control car, and green flag back in the air here at WorldWide Technology Raceway. You see the battle now is on for second place. You have Matt Parasini, Tyler Lamb. My bad, Tyler Lem, excuse me.
Quickly taking a shot. Oh, the 99 goes around. That's Tyler Lem.
He is spinning. He is spinning.
Just mentioned Tyler.
Don't come on the track. Don't come on the track. Oh. iRacing didn't throw a caution. Don't. Sorry, Tyler.
Unfortunately, he is pretty far back. Both Vernon Brauback and Michael Whitley Jr. both are in the pits.
Both got black flags. No car up into the wall. We're wrecking cautions out again. Corey Ennis, maybe?
Austin Walton.
Austin Walton. Hey, Rick.
Yep.
We have 24 to go, right?
23 laps to go.
Yeah, our trend is pretty on point.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Great. Let's see, since we're focusing on Austin Walton, let's see what happened to Austin. Austin's in the 17. You see him cross the start-finish line. You have the 50 of Giraud to his inside left. That's Ty Bostic in front, but he just loses it. I really think the setup here at this track may be a problem.
I think it is. I would agree.
Because there's no reason that let's do an in-cockpit shot for let's ride along through this. One more time.
One more time for the people in the back.
All right. So if I had to Monday morning quarterback that a little bit, I think he was just a little hot and did not get slowed down enough to start that process of making that corner.
I agree.
Okay, well, 22 laps to go. That's 98. We are on our 13th caution. We appreciate you sticking with us here as we wind this event down. We'll go back to green flag. My guess is with just 20 laps to go here at WorldWide Technology Raceway in the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150. It's been a caution-filled event here. No way to sugarcoat that one. This is a tricky track for these drivers, and tonight has certainly demonstrated that. You know, one of our keys that we talked about was having a bit of patience, and that patience translates into backing out of these corners a little bit later than you probably would anticipate, and getting back on the gas a little bit easier. You want to stomp it, but it's not going to help you.
Yeah, it's not that easy,
So Jordan Booth finds himself in the lead here at WWTR, and you've got Matt Persini to his inside in that 24 Edmonton Oilers Chevrolet. Travis Bennett and Jordan Wenzel dominate that second row. So that's going to be a very interesting. We'll see if we can go green as long as we can here, and it could be a challenge for this lead.
Could be a challenge for the lead. I would definitely agree. Jordan Booth is sitting very nice up there. We talked about the track position game. I think it's important. I think this is the right move. Is staying out now. Like I mentioned before, green white checker. Would be worried about the fuel, but let's talk about those drivers who might be good on fuel. Jacob Mousseau in 9th. You have Ince Burns in 12th. Guy who pit on lap 92. That is up there is Martin Giroux in 13th. We know he can make it to the end. So we will see.
Take a quick look at the comments. We're getting some text messages from drivers in the car.
Oh. I'll take a look here in a second. All right, here we go. Green flag back in the air.
Decent jump on the guys on the lower line. The 81 Jordan goes a little high.
This has to help with the fuel mileage.
I think it was the comment before that.
Somehow with all the
contact, the 01 tax the 81, goes around.
He saved it. He saved it. He saved it. We're still racing. What a save.
Oh, unfortunately.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, don't come back at the track. Oh.
T-boned.
Oh, man.
The 35
man, we got...
is just a wrecking ball through the... Sorry.
Sorry, 35. Sorry, Mr. Tyler Sexton, but that's the best comparison that we could use in that moment. It's like a pinball.
So backing it up just a little bit, you saw the 81 got... Well, let's go back and look at those. So Jordan Wenzel, let's back it up and just see what happened to him. Where he saved it, contact with the 01. Contact with the 01 there, spins the 81. 46, Simon Magin gets around. The 77, Corey Bunch, slips underneath, but then the 81 winds up in the grass. He comes back up in front of the 40. Good move by the 40 to get away, but unfortunately, the 99 squeezes a 35 right into him. Let's pause it right there. Jump down to the 35 and let this continue. 35 is let's go back real quick. Contact with the 10, possibly ending his day. All right. Lots of damage all around.
Tons.
Jordan Wenzel is in the pits.
You got
He's down.
the 3. 3 getting another lap back.
All right. Yeah, we're pushing for Ron Fitton to get his laps back. He's now just 7 laps down.
Well, I know trends and I know math, and Ron, I hate it. Don't think you get back on the lead lap on this one, buddy.
Yep, we're running out. Running out of time.
Rick, with 16 to go, you know, looking at these drivers, you have Martin Giroux only up to 11th. So, you know, those tires, they're working, but with these cautions, it's stalling the progress of those guys.
Yeah, the more cautions that occur, the more chance that these guys do not have to come in. We will not have 37 cautions in 15 laps, but yep, we're laughing, folks, because your commentary is appreciated and it's fun to read. So we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for participating in our broadcast. We do love audience participation, and yeah, it's all good. So if you do hear or read comments that refer to ARCA braking and you're unfamiliar with that term, it's really there's a lower series that is in NASCAR. It's been there for a number of years. It's the ARCA series. It's relatively inexperienced young drivers that get in, and their inexperience shows through by their lack of spatial awareness, and unfortunately you've seen them just kind of drive right through an incident, maybe too much Days of Thunder, not really sure, but where they should be braking and slowing their car down, getting it in control to avoid an incident, they believe they can drive right through it. And that's what we say when you hear us referencing the term ARCA braking. Did I get that right, John?
Exactly right. Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. Well, we have 14 laps to go. We are not going to shut down this race. It will finish with the recommended and required laps. It could even be a few extra laps to finish this race. We appreciate you tuning in. Here at the IWM Network, we truly enjoy watching these guys go around each week, and the trials and tribulations, the drama that occurs, and keeps us entertained in the booth as well. All right, Matt Versini's on the inside. He has got himself Jordan Booth on the top, and we are back underway here at WorldWide Technology Raceway.
Just 13 laps to go. And we got some action right now. Here comes the 01. Oh, he's going to squeeze the middle. Maybe not. But hey, look who is back up there. You have the 19. Well. I'm not saying I'm hoping for some excitement.
It could
but,
prove interesting.
It could be a little bit interesting, folks, if that 19 car can get up to the front. He does have 6-lap pressure tires. Then everybody in front of him right now. So he has the freshest tires actually out of the top 6 right now. Oh, you see a car right there sliding these. That's a 19. It's sideways. He's still
tried
sideways.
To do it. Oh, he snaps it back, takes out the 10, the 42. Tony Japs.
God.
This is our...
Oh, we got the marker braking. Uh-oh. Yep, there it is. You'll see the cars right there.
35 is, again, unfortunately, in that incident. That's Tyler Sexton. He is missing the nose on that 35. Richard Mills. Unfortunately, Jordan Wenzel was, I think, also involved. Let's go back and see. I thought he was involved. Let's... Nope, he escaped. He found a hole and made it through. But I think this started back with, believe it or not, with Alex Forget-Berube.
Yeah, it did. He got a little sideways, and that's what started it.
Right there, collects the 42 of Tony Japs, a 67 of Ennis goes up top. Hayes collects the 25. Musso and the 99. Unfortunately, Tyra Lamb is also collected. Okay, well, 10 laps to go.
Ten to go, Rick.
I am not sure that Alex can get back up the 41 of Jordan Booth for that bracket challenge, but we'll see.
I don't know. Anything can happen.
We are open to anything. All right, we'll be going back with about 8 laps to go. So 15th caution of the night. I think we're unfortunately slipped a little bit under the 8 here. We're averaging around 7 or so laps, but with as many cautions as we have, do these guys even need to stop at the front?
Again, I think it's one of those things where I think they could make it to the end. I genuinely think they could.
All right, well, we'll see. Again, 9 laps to go. We'll go at the line at lap 8, so 7 laps to go under green when we get restarted. Just kind of looking back through the field here. Corey Bunch is in 5th. Just to give you a current standing as we reassemble this field in anticipation of the restart. So you've got Booth, Persini's, Magin, Bennett, Bunch, Burns, Murphy, Hayes, Bostic, and Whitley. That is your top 10. Jordan Booth has again elected to take that outside line.
Rick, like I've said before, I think this strategy is going to prove to pay dividends. I really believe it will. So right now, the one driver I'm looking at is Brendan Hayes. He is up to 7th. He is the first car in that lap 92 stint of drivers that has made his way up to the front. He is back there in 7th. So we'll see what he's able to do. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Big bump from the 01 to the back of the 41 as we now have 7 laps to go at Gateway.
Same thing happened on that low line. The 77 a bunch gave it a little love tap to the 46 to say, hey, you better get a move on that restart. Oh, big one. That's the 19.
I don't think we have a caution yet, though. No
19
caution.
is toast.
Oh, he's not. Oh, 01 sideways. 01's into the wall. 01 is into the wall in turn 3 and 4.
He saved it. We're still going forward here. That's Travis Bennett.
Multiple cars on pit road right now. Jacob Musso, black flag. Clark France, black flag. Richard Mills, black flag. Tyler Sexton, black flag. Brendan Hayes, black and white flag. Alex Forge Berube, black flag. Corey Ennis, black flag. Tony Japs, black flag. I have no idea what's happening.
All right.
Tons of black flags, and we're now getting 5 laps to go. Look at Simon Madsen there. He is up potentially 21 positions if he gets by that 77 car, all the way up into 3rd.
Jordan Booth continues to lead. Matt Rossini is in 2nd. Big battle here between the 77 and the 46. Battling for 3rd for that last podium position here. 4 laps to go. We're still green. They're side by side here, trying to get through here, battling the 46 of Magin and the 77 of Bunch. That's a podium position they're battling for.
Yes, it is, and a potential interview. You know, we love these drivers. They love to give their interviews and voice their opinions. Still side by side, coming to 3 to go. To go. Jordan Booth out to a 1.5 second lead over Matt Perusini. Jordan Booth up 4 spots on the night. Matt Perusini up 9 spots. Corey Bunch is in the same spot he was. And you see that 77 now coming up to the back doorstep of that 24 machine. Could we see that 77 click his way potentially into 2nd place? We are about to find out.
Quickly jumping back to our leader, that is Jordan Booth. He should get the white flag. Final lap.
White flag in the air.
But we're going to watch this position here. Corey Bunch trying to get around the 24. This is the
he
best
has position on him.
This is the best showing that we've seen for the 24 so far this season.
He tried to side draft him right there. 24 is going to try to dive it in deep here, try to keep that 2nd place position. He locked it up. He's still there. 77 clears him, though. What a pass there at a turn 4. You have Mr. Jordan Booth winning the race. Corey Bunch in second, and Matt Perusini there in third.
Good for Matt. That's a great finish for that 24 car.
Exactly what he needed. Exactly what he needed. Oh, there's the 19 again. Sideways.
Yeah. 19 has just had a tough day today, for sure.
Rick, I don't think it's over. Uh-oh, watch out.
A little bit of contact. Someone's not happy with the way they were raced today.
No. And he came across the radio. He said something. Don't know what he said, but I don't think he was too happy with what happened with Jordan Booth there in the middle of 1 and 2. So here you go. You have 1 car there, 2 cars there. There comes the 24. What a lovely photo you got. Look at that.
All right, as soon as we get some, we do have official results. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
Alrighty. Getting the win tonight here in the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150, presented by iNRS and Admin Box. You have Jordan Booth in first, Corey Bunch in second, Matt Perusini in third, Simon Magin in fourth, Vince Burns in fifth, Alex Murphy in sixth, Michael Whitley Jr. with a great 7th place finishing position there, Tyler Lemon 8th, Travis Bennett in 9th, and Ty Bostic rounds out your top 10.
All right, in 11th, Vernon Broadbeck, 12th, Jordan Wenzel. Martin Giroux finishes in 13th, Clark Friends in 14th, Tony Japs in 15th, Jacob Musso in 16th, Richard Mills in 17th, in 18th, Austin Walton, 19th is Martin Pinnell, 20th is Alex Forget-Bruby, 21st, Joe Musso, Brennan Hayes in 22nd, 23rd, Ron Fitting, 24th, Tyler Sexton, Corey Ennis in 25th, Eric Jeffers finishes in 26th. All right, I think I'm getting motion sick with all the donuts Mr. Jordan Wenzel is doing. Let's take a look from he is burning down the start-finish line.
Yes, he is.
One of the better burnouts.
Oh, yeah, a great burnout.
All right, so we're just waiting for Matt Perusini to join us here in the booth. As soon as he gets into the lobby, we'll bring him in. See if we can locate him.
I don't see him yet.
Oh, there he is. Hang on 1 second. All right, there he is. Matt, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. It's finally nice to be able to talk to you guys. I've had probably the worst luck of just about anybody in this series so far this year.
Well, you know what? You're here now. Congratulations on that finish.
Yeah, thanks. It was really good. Gotta thank Wenzel. He helped me out a little bit with some tips and tricks to get around here, and definitely with that caution coming out just before the stage coming in, getting the track position, that definitely helped out a ton with this the way this race went tonight.
So I have a question. You last pitted on lap 73. With all the cautions, did that just pretty much take the whole fuel mileage thing out the window?
Yeah, it pretty much did. Like when we all pitted at that lap, I was showing like maybe a third of a gallon to the good. And I was like, if we get 2 cautions relatively quickly, I know I'm good. And we got those 2 cautions, and then it was like, I'm not coming in for the rest of the night. So,
wow, that's awesome. Yeah, we were debating it, but once we were, we had a lot of cautions tonight, as you're well aware of.
Oh, very much so. I was caught up in a few of them. Luckily tonight for once, none of them were my doing, but we were floating at 19X and 20X as a pass-through at the end of the race, so I was a little nervous. That's probably why I didn't race Corey as hard as I would have liked to.
Well, actually, just as a side note, John, that's probably why we saw that rash of black flags there towards the end.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep, they were all at the incident level.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Well, listen, congratulations on your P3 finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, just thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Really appreciate it. Thanks to Josh and Scott and all the admins they do here for the league. And thanks to my teammates at Apex Motorsports. They've been telling me I was going to break through here soon, and we're getting there. We're inching closer and closer towards it.
There you go. Well, that's your third place finisher. Matt, is it Persini, right? Did I say that correctly?
Parasini.
Parasini. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. And let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Corey Bunch into the broadcast booth. All right, Corey. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Woo! You know, I kind of wished it was a win, but hey, for me messing up and to be able to cover to a second, I'll take it.
Well, you know, you were involved. Well, you know what? Nearly everybody was involved in something tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think that big old pile up, and I just kind of happened to run into Brandon, and even without all that, I still felt the car felt like okay, so I didn't really have to fix any damage or anything. But yeah, truly eventful, to say the least. I figured that me and Booth was going to be the two best cars, and then me trying to take the lead on Wenzel, and I messed myself up there. I got too deep and just got loose there, and then it was just all about trying to recover from there.
Well, we had, obviously with your win last season here at this track, you were one of the drivers that we were watching here tonight, and you didn't disappoint. We saw you get around, but at the same time, this is a tricky track.
It is, and that's what me and Travis was kind of talking about too, because I joke with him. I was like, even though all practice actually, we was complaining how this sucks and this is terrible and we can't drive the thing, but the cream always rises to the top. So, and Travis looked good too until he got in deep in 3 and cost him a shot. But either way, it was a still good run for this number 77 Averitt Express Ford Mustang. Happy for them to hop into the car today, and which I know since Matt's here, I still can't believe he gave me that outside lane going in the last lap, because I figured, all right, I'm settling for third, and I'll try to fake him out. But I know he won't full for it, and then all of a sudden he goes down low in the 1. I'm like, oh, that's it. So kind of just went on out there and got second. So I was pretty happy about that.
And Matt, you're welcome to chime in.
Like I told him after the race, I said, you were just lucky that I was 1X away from a black flag, because literally that was the only thing that was stopping me from being more aggressive with it.
Well, Corey, congratulations on your finish. Any other shout outs tonight for you?
No, I just got to thank Full Throttle Motorsports for the team effort for this week. I know me and Eric, we missed the 600 because our haulers made the wrong turn to the Indy 500 for some reason, but we was able to get that all turned around and come over here and start off strong. Eric did have a great run. It was just miserable for him. I hate it for him. And then Whitley, I guess, got caught up in other people's stuff. And then with Travis, we had that incident going into turn 3. So I guess to be the really good FTM car to finish in the top 5, we'll take it. It's just, all the cars ran great. It's just a testament of, our speed. But it's just, like I said before, the cream always rises to the top.
Yep. You with Michael finished in 7th and Travis finishes in 9th. So still a good showing for Full Throttle.
Yeah, still good showing for sure. But we need to try to get up there to beat 40 XLI, and it's always hard when you've got Jordan Booth always winning all these races. So it don't matter if FTM cars 3 finish in the top 5 and him and Brandon in the top 5, then it kind of just it evens out. And we're still trying, but it's the thing about Booth. He's good at what he does. So.
And with that, we welcome Jordan Booth to the broadcast booth. Jordan, congratulations on your win.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was fun.
What part of it was fun? The win, yes.
Like the 55-mile-an-hour part wasn't fun. That kind of sucked all race. But racing with Corey in the first stage was really fun, and then having to consistently deal with Matt on restarts was fun. And like the 15 laps we went green was fun, but the rest of it was kind of lame. But yeah, it was good. We won, so I can't be mad.
No, no, absolutely not. So, definitely, as we've talked about this all night, this is such a unique track on the circuit. For some drivers, they adapt well and they do well here. For others, it's a challenge, and we saw
Yeah,
we
I
saw that
think.
tonight for sure.
Yeah, I think the cream rises to the top on tracks like this. I mean, you're constantly shifting every corner. You're having to get on the brakes right. You're having to make sure you're getting aggressive with brake bias. You can't be not good at this and run good at these tracks. And I mean, I didn't honestly. If that thing went green, I didn't think there was a single way I got past Corey. And then I wrecked myself too, which was odd. Yeah, that was a low light. But we got lucky. Cautions fell. It took 2 tires. I was just like, I gotta get track position because you cannot pass here without just running somebody over. But yeah, I mean, we got lucky. We got lucky with some cautions falling, and we capitalized.
Well, I think you're also the winner of the bracket challenge as well. So there's $50 more in your pocket.
Couldn't have beat a nicer person either in it. Yeah.
I think Alex said hello to you at the end of that race.
Yeah, he was, yelling and cursing about, random, I'm still racing. I was like, dude, I finished the race by, 3/4 of a lap by now. Why are we still racing? But, it is what it is. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not worried about it. I'm getting paid tonight, so we're gonna have some fun.
Okay. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Give one to Brendan. He got screwed over by some iRacing error or something, put him way further down the order than what he should have ended up, which sucks for him. He was running good all night. He was pretty good. You guys, obviously, you guys put on a great show every week, and entertaining throughout our mockery of 13 or 14 cautions or something. And then yeah, just iNRS, giving out these prizes like this is pretty cool. You don't see very many leagues giving out real money for fake iRacing stuff, so that's always cool as well. Josh up in the booth keeping us somewhat in line. And yeah, we'll end it off there. Oh,
Okay.
Mike Wheel
And that's,
too.
I was gonna say one more
Stick
thing
paint
there as
scheme.
well. I was gonna say one more thing as well. Let's give it up for Matt who finished third. I know he's had
Yeah.
like a miserable season so far, and for him to finish third is astounding. So, props to you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Like you guys all said it was coming. It was just win.
Yeah.
It's hard to wait it out. All right, John, any other comments tonight?
Just want to say congrats to Jordan and Corey and Matt. Great run, Matt. Got to say, it's glad to have you up here. And next week we're going to a track that is completely different than what we have here at Worldwide Tech. We're going to Sonoma, where Travis Bennett was last year's winner. So, really quick, guys, I got to say, what are your thoughts on Sonoma? I'll leave that as an open question for all you guys here.
I'll
Let's
see
go
you guys
first.
in the booth about 2 weeks from now.
I'll tell you what. I know Travis might be listening to this, but I'm coming for that stat. I'm just calling it now. Coming for that stat.
I'm just hoping to keep all 4 tires on pavement.
We all have goals and dreams in life, and some of them are a little bit different than others.
Yep.
There we go. We just figured it out.
Yeah, we'll take Matt's low bar and go from there. So.
There you
Yeah,
go.
road course is not my specialty.
Well, you got it. All right, guys, that kind of wraps up our broadcast here on the IWM network of the iNRS Enjoy Illinois 150. Your winner, Jordan Booth, tonight seals not only this win, but also wins the bracket challenge in the iNRS League. We appreciate you all tuning in tonight, and join us next Thursday, when we bring you Sonoma, a road course for these guys. So from John and myself, thank you very much, and have a great night.